Hello, third grade. Okay, so today we're going to go back up over talking about possessive nouns and possessive pronouns. And this is kind of a hard concept, so we're just going to keep reviewing it. So if it's a little tricky, just give it some time to kind of marinate, give your brain some time, and just start noticing possessives when you are reading and when you're speaking, because you naturally use possessives all the time. And you're going to see when we do a few examples today, you also read them all the time and you understand what they mean. So let's just kind of keep our eyes open for them and see what we notice. Okay, so here is again the same postcard that we saw in our story, and we looked at this last week for possessives, and we noticed there are possessives in here and there are contractions. So the apostrophes in here can be both contractions, like right here in didn't, that's a contraction for did not. But we also saw some words that showed ownership, like this one, this really long one: quins, cousins, boyfriends, aunt. So it's Quinn's cousin, the cousin belongs to Quinn. It's the cousin's boyfriend. The boyfriend belongs to the cousin. And it's the boyfriend's aunt. The aunt belongs to the boyfriend, right? So we noticed that the item, the noun that it was owning or possessing, came right after the possessive pronoun, okay? Or, I'm sorry, possessive noun. So we had that one. That one's really confusing. So let's not use that one as an example because that one is an extreme. But if we took a look at this one, the aunt's, where is it? Sorry. The aunt's station wagon, right? Mr. OK the guys loaded Mr. OK into the aunt's station wagon. Aunt is singular. It's a singular one, aunt or aunt, however your family says it. And the station wagon belongs to her. So it's A-U-N-T, does not end in an S, so we add an apostrophe and then an S, right? And then down here again, Sherry's sister. Sister belongs to Sherry, so we have the word Sherry, and it does not end in an S, so we add an apostrophe and S, okay? But there's another place where there's possession, but they don't use a possessive noun, they use a possessive pronoun. And remember, a pronoun takes the place of a noun. So if we look right at this sentence, the same sentence with Quinn's cousin's boyfriend's aunt, was leaving to visit her sick grandfather in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Who does this grandfather belong to? It belongs to her. So they used right here the possessive pronoun her. Who is her? It's this aunt. But it makes the sentence flow much better than saying, so when Quinn's cousin's boyfriend's aunt was leaving to visit Quinn's cousin's boyfriend's aunt's sick grandfather in Fort, Arkansas, the guys loaded Mr. OK into the aunt station wagon, right? We wouldn't repeat the same possessive noun. We use a possessive pronoun that says her. But the trick is that that pronoun needs to match both in gender, right? Because we know we have her or we could have him, and in whether it's singular or plural. And we're going to take a look at some of those today, okay? That's kind of what our goal is to look at today. So I have a few things just to whip through. If you looked at your reader on page, let's see, on page 304 in your reader, it's right after our story, okay? It has a great little chart right here, and I just want to kind of zoom in on this chart. And it's a table like we've seen a lot in math or we've made in science or social studies. And here we have all the singular possessive nouns, plural possessive nouns, and then the pronouns that we could use for either of those, depending on whether it's male or female, or depending whether it's singular or plural. This sounds way more confusing than it really is because you guys are so good at talking. I know that, even though I haven't got to hear you talk that much lately, but you're so good at talking that you would use the correct possessive pronoun, and you're going to see what I mean. But for example, this word boys, B-O-Y apostrophe S, I know that it's one boy, something belongs to one boy, right? So I could say his. So if it's the boy's book, I would say his book. I wouldn't say her book because it's a boy. And I wouldn't say my book because I'm not the boy. And I wouldn't say our book or their book, right? I would use his, would be the only one that matches. In this one, girls with an apostrophe at the end, we know that it's more than one girl. So ready? Girls' jackets. There are many jackets that belong to many girls. Okay, so the girls' jackets are hung on in the back of the room, right? In our classroom, okay? The girls' jackets. More than one girl, more than one jacket. So I wouldn't say his jacket. I wouldn't say my jacket. I would say their jackets if I was going to use a pronoun. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this bottom section, but I'm actually going to just retype it so that we can kind of see it a little bit easier. Okay, so for example, if this was the sentence, the blank bark woke me up, and I want to put the word dog in there, we could say the dog's bark woke me up. And the dog, it's one dog, so it's dog, and then apostrophe S. The dog's bark woke me up. Okay, one dog, and that dog's bark woke me up. If I wanted to use a possessive pronoun, what could I say? Instead of the dog's bark woke me up, I could say his bark woke me up. His bark woke me up. Or if it was my puppy, it would be her bark woke me up. It wouldn't be my bark or our bark, right? Okay, but we don't know the gender of the dog. So it could be her, or her bark woke me up, or it could be his bark woke me up, depending on the gender of your dog, right? Okay, ready? Next sentence. The blank toy is on the table, and we want to say the baby's toy, okay? We're going to use singular baby. So the baby, it's singular, one baby, B-A-B-Y, the baby. We're going to add apostrophe S. The baby's toy is on the table. If we wanted to take that out of the sentence, we could put a pronoun in there. We could say, what would we say? His toy is on the table if it's a baby boy, like Blake's little brother, right? But what if it's Mrs. Shubbick's new baby? It would be her toy is on the table. Would we ever say its toy is on the table? Not when we're talking about a human, right? No, no, no. Okay. Now the next sentence, we're going to use the word babies, more than one babies. So the baby's toys, more than one baby. Babies is already plural. It's already plural. It already ends in an S. So what do we know? Oh, to show ownership, all we have to do is add an apostrophe. So we'd say the baby's apostrophe. Baby's toys are on the floor. Okay? There's more than one baby. My goodness. And more than one toy. Okay? Now, would we say his toys are on the table? I'm sorry, on the floor? No, or her, because it's more than one baby. So we would have to say their toys are on the floor. And notice which there that is. That's not the place, and it's not the contraction. That's the ownership. That's the possessive pronoun. Their toys are on the floor. All right. And then the last sentence was this one. The students cheered for the students' team. The students cheered for the students' team. Doesn't that sound strange? Because we're repeating, and we don't want to repeat, right? As a good writer, we wouldn't repeat the students cheered for the students' team. We would say the students cheered for their team. The students cheered for their team. The word their is a possessive pronoun that takes the place of the students. So we take that out and we can put that possessive pronoun in. Again, guys, I promise that you're going to be looking at this, and if you overthink it, it might get confusing. But if you think about how it sounds and what sounds right, I think you're going to really, you're going to nail it. Okay. So the next, sorry, hold on. The next page in our reader says exactly what I just told you. The good writers use possessive pronouns to avoid repeating possessive nouns and to make sentences smoother. So listen to this sentence down here. The family's best outing was the family's trip to the zoo. Would we say the family's twice? The family's best outing was the family's trip to the zoo. No, we could say the family's best outing was their trip to the zoo. And we know the word their is that possessive pronoun that takes the place of the family. Right? Let's just skip down the bottom one. The picture of the alligator is Maria's favorite, she said. The picture of the alligator is my favorite, she said. If you were speaking, you wouldn't, unless you were Elmo, if you remember. I don't know if any of you watched Sesame Street, but remember Elmo always talked about himself in the third person. It drove me crazy. You wouldn't say, Kate's favorite food is chocolate ice cream, I said. Right? You wouldn't. You would say my favorite. So when you're writing as if someone's speaking, you would not use Maria's favorite. You would say my favorite if you're writing it in quotation marks. So that part's that was a little tricky, I thought. All right. So for practice today, you are going to do in your RN page 125. Okay. And we'll just take a look at a couple together, and then you're going to do the rest on your own, and then you're going to take a picture of it and send it in. Okay. All right, so on page 125, it says, read the sentences below, underline the possessive pronouns. If the possessive pronoun is not written correctly, write the word correctly on the line. I'll give you a clue. Most of them are not written correctly. All right, ready? Some of them are going to sound right, but the way that they're written isn't right. Okay. Lucy, a friend of ours, is traveling with us to Tennessee. If you just listen to it, does it sound right? It does. But when you look at this word, would we use an apostrophe S in there? Mm-mm. The apostrophe S is when a noun follows it to tell us what it's owning or possessing, right? So Lucy, a friend of ours, we will underline, this is our possessive pronoun, so we're going to, I have my eraser on. We're going to underline ours. Zoop. Follow the direction. Can you see that? We're going to underline ours, and then we're going to rewrite ours on the line. I can't really rewrite it on the line very well, so I'll just put a post-it note. It doesn't, I'm not very good at using ours. All we have to do was take out the apostrophe, okay? Is this his map? Is this his map? His is, hold on, sorry. His is the possessive pronoun, so we're going to underline it. And in order to make it correct, it's not his apostrophe S, it's just his. Just his. Is his map. Is this his map? Okay, one more we'll do together. My favorite part of a road trip is the snacks. What's the possessive pronoun? My. Did it again, sorry. My. We're going to underline the word my. My favorite part of the road trip is the snacks. That's true. Is anything wrong there? No, that's right. So we leave that one alone. Okay, you're going to do 4 and 5 on your own, and then you have 3 possessive pronouns that you're just going to use in a sentence. How would you use the word their in a sentence? The children ate their lunch. The birds built their nest. You have to show ownership. You have to have something that owns something else, but you're going to use that possessive pronoun. Now make sure you have complete sentences. That means starts with a capital letter, ends with any type of end mark, and in between you have a good, complete thought. Okay. No worries if this is still a little bit foggy. Possessives are tricky, but the more that you see them and the more you're aware of them, the easier they'll become, okay? I just want you to kind of notice as where you're reading in your reader, or you're reading your free read, or you're reading your religion book, that we use possessives all the time. And you're going to notice how when you speak, you use possessives, how you naturally throw in a possessive pronoun, and you automatically make it fit with both the gender, if it's male or female, and with whether it's singular or plural. You automatically do that because y'all are so good at reading and talking. All right, my friends, miss you tons. Bye.